NASA won't talk about it. Mainstream scientists avoid it. But something buried in our DNA doesn't belong. In 2001, a team working on the Human Genome Project stumbled onto something strange, a segment in chromosome 2 that looked like a fusion of two ancestral chromosomes. It was seamless, clean, too perfect. Not the work of slow, random evolution. More like someone spliced it on purpose. Publicly, experts called it an anomaly. Privately, one geneticist admitted, "It looks engineered." That statement was never meant to be heard, but it leaked. And once it did, the questions began. Let's go back, way back, 6.6 million years ago. The Earth is alien, thick jungles, volcanic heat, no humans in sight. Just creatures, some primates, but nothing like us. Then, a single skull is found in Chad, Sahelanthropus chadensis. It stands upright. Not fully human, but not fully ape either. Science doesn't know what to call it. So they call it the earliest known hominin. But here's the problem. According to evolutionary theory, upright posture shouldn't have existed then. And yet, there it was, standing, waiting. Some called it a glitch in the fossil record. Others whispered something else. What if it wasn't a glitch, but a signature? Thousands of years later, on clay tablets buried in Sumer, a story appears. It's not a myth. It reads like a logbook. It tells of a race, the Anunnaki, beings who came from a wandering planet called Nibiru. Their world was dying. They needed gold, not for trade, but for technology. Earth had it, but mining it was brutal. So they created miners, not machines, but a workforce. Organic, adaptable, obedient. They found the early hominins. Primitive, strong, but limited. And they began their work. They took samples, they altered genes, they combined their DNA with ours. And they called the result Adamu, the first human, not born built. In 1976, Zecharia Sitchin translated the Sumerian tablets. He was dismissed, mocked by academics, but many of his translations aligned with real-world science. The tablets described Uranus and Neptune, invisible to the naked eye, as existing long before modern astronomy. They described the Anunnaki wearing helmets, carrying tools, descending in flying craft. Not divine beings, not myths, technicians. Fast forward to now, we found more anomalies. In South Africa, mines dating back over 200,000 years. Too old, too deep, too advanced. In Egypt, precision-cut stone with no signs of primitive tools. In Peru and Bolivia, temples aligned with celestial movements that match orbital calculations of stars we only recently discovered. The same pattern. Across continents, across time, gods come from the sky. They build, they teach, they leave, or they watch. Let's go back to the DNA. Human DNA contains 3.2 billion base pairs. Of that, nearly 98% is considered non-coding. For years, scientists called it junk, but now they know it's not junk. It's control code, switches, regulators, timers, and some sequences, they're untraceable. They don't match anything in known evolutionary history. Some geneticists believe these may come from an unknown ancestor. They call it the ghost species. But what if it wasn't a species? What if it was a visitor? Chromosome 2, the smoking gun, two separate chromosomes fused into one. A fusion site that's too perfect, lacking the usual genetic debris you'd expect. It looks edited. It looks intentional. NASA has never addressed it, but in leaked emails, researchers expressed unease. One even wrote, "If this isn't natural, we have to ask what is then." That email was quickly retracted, but the internet remembers. Why would NASA care? Why would genome anomalies bother space agencies? Because of what's coming. Because of Nibiru. the planet the Sumerians said would return, a 3,600-year orbit. Long dismissed as a myth, but in 1983, NASA's IRIS telescope detected a massive object beyond Pluto. They called it Planet X, and then silence. Press releases vanished, data removed, official position no evidence, but whistleblowers say otherwise. A former NASA contractor claimed, "We were told to stop asking about the anomaly." And the anomaly? It fits the predicted orbit of Nibiru. So let's connect the dots. DNA anomalies we can't explain, a sudden leap in evolution, ancient texts describing genetic experiments, a hidden planet that may be returning. Coincidence? Or suppressed history? Every ancient culture left clues, but modern science buries them. Why? Because if it's true, if humanity was engineered, then everything changes. Religion, science, power, all rewritten. And those in power don't want to lose control of the story. But some are waking up. Some are looking deeper. They see the patterns in the genome. They see the alignments in the stars. They hear the whispers in the myths. This isn't evolution, it's legacy code. And legacy always leaves a trail. So who were the Anunnaki? Why did they make us? And more importantly, are they still watching? Because when you look up at the stars and feel something looking back, you're not imagining it, you're remembering. This is not merely a film, it is a signal folded into stone and shadow. They came once, beyond our memory, beyond our myths, and they left their mark in blood and code. They carved designs into the bedrock of our world and into the bones of our children. They will come again, not as gods draped in gold, not as legends in robes, but as something far clearer, far colder, engineers of fate seeking what they once claimed as theirs. Listen, there are threads in our DNA that do not fray with time. There are stars whose paths have been traced by hands older than history. There are tablets and songs and whispers that refuse to be forgotten. If you feel a tug when you look up, a quiet answering in your chest, you are not alone. It is the past touching the present. It is memory waking. It is a clock beginning to turn. Do not look away. If the silence makes you uneasy, let it sharpen you. If the stories prick at the back of your mind, follow them. Because truth is patient, but the clock is not. Like this revelation, share this whisper, and subscribe to Whispers of the Anunnaki. Join the ones who listen. Be the ones who remember before the signal is cut and the answer returns.